Hello and welcome back. In this class, we are going to learn how to change the slide properties. This could include theme of the slides as well as the background coloration, be it a plain color or a gradient coloration, as well as we can learn how to import images and have them as our background within a particular slide in LibreOffice. So to start with, if you want to change the background coloration of this particular slide, let's start with the first slide. All you need is just to right click and you can come all the way to slide properties over here. You can just click and you'll have this slide properties wizard. Okay, so over here you can come to slide. This is going to give you the paper format, the margins, as well as the layout settings. So for this tutorial, for this class, the default one is the format is widescreen, which is 16:9. You're free to change it to any format of your choice. You can check around. You can have A6, A5, A4, even B6, and so on. But for this, we're going to go with the default, which is this widescreen 16:9. I just keep it at that. This is the width, this is the height. If you have anything you can change, you can go with portrait or landscape, and in each case you'll be able to see the preview from here. Right over here you have the margins. I keep everything at default, and then the paper tray and the slide numbers you can add, and you can define how you want the background, whether the background covers the margins or the about. You can define all this. Now next is you have the background coloration. Right now it's set to none, which means it is pure white. If you want to add a color, you can select. This is the active color. If you press on OK, and this is a new color that you have. But at this moment I want to use something like this, and once I select it, you can see it's the new color that I have. And if you have a custom plate, you can add directly. If you have a defined hex code, you can as well add. Now once you say OK to this, you can see this slide now changes to that particular color. Assuming you don't want a plain color like this, you can always come back, right click, come back to slide properties, and you'll be able to go back to, if you don't want a plain color, you can have a gradient color, for example, and then probably you want something like this. You can select something like this, and once you say OK to this, it's going to transform everything to this coloration. I think this is not so bad, but I don't like it. I think I rather prefer the plain one. So but this is just for demonstration. You can see, let's go back with this one. I kind of like this one. And then if you want to add in more properties to this, you can still come back to slide properties, and then you can come up. Assuming I want to now add an image as my background to this particular slide, all you need is to select the image section over here under the background, and you can see different kind of images that are available for you to use. If you select any of them, you're going to have it as your own background. This one is good, but I think I don't like it. You can select something like this also, and it can serve the purpose. In case if you have a specific image that you are targeting and you want to use, you can add or import it directly within your system. You can select and you can just easily import it into the system and have it as your background in this particular slide. Okay, so you can have this. Please enter a name for the external bitmap. Let's call it background 1, for example, and then you can say OK to this, and this is now added as our background 1. So once you say OK to this, it's now taken as your own background in this presentation. So it's very easy to import and add in different kind of images as your background. And if you don't want any as well, you can still come back and still switch back to the way it was. Or if you want to add patterns, there are different patterns that you can add that are very fantastic, and you can have very fantastic experience with them. So I think I kind of like this pattern, and if you have any you can add, you can easily add and can import the pattern. Okay, depending, this is the pattern editor. You can create your own and change the coloration as well. You can go with something that you think can depict what you are trying to create. So let's say we'll go with something like this pattern, which is quite good. So you can say OK to this, and you can see it changes the looks of the slide, and it gives us another professional look. I kind of like this, so we can keep this if you want, and then you can come back to slide properties again. Let me show you one more thing. If you want to put in hatch, you can put in hatch background. In cases if you want to have hatch background like these ones, they are very nice, and you can play around with the extension of over here, angle rotation of the hatch. Okay, and you can define the spacing as well from here and change the coloration and make it a single or crossed hash over here. Okay, so you can always see the preview from this side, and if you're certain and okay with it, you can always insert it into your slide. Now the last one is the transparency. At this moment, the transparency is 100%. If you want to make it less transparent, you can make it 50% or even 25% in some cases if you want to have a less transparent background. If you want to have a less transparent background so that your content can be clearly visual, so you can say okay to this, and you can see it has automatically changed everything. So this is basically how to change the slide properties in cases if you have anything to add, maybe from a plain background or plain coloration to having a gradient background, or even images or hatches as you so wish. So you can go ahead and explore and see, try on your own and see how you can add in one or two things to bring in professionalism into what you are creating. So this concludes this class about changing the slide properties. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next class. Bye.